the bearded one for today. The big beard is growing. Saturday night beard time with Harry Mandy. Fears. It's fucking you up. We'll carry on in a second. Saturday night though, I guess you know, we're busy doing shit. Or it might not be of interest. Or you might already know. Probably do. Talking to myself, I'm fucking crazy. Might just wait for just one person to join and then I'll go. Oh. Okay. I see one person watching, so 2. Okay. 3. Okay. Right. This topic is huge. Absolutely huge. Fear. Fear fucks us all up. Fear, we all know this. Fear fucks us all up. Fear. Emotional fear. I'm not talking about physical health, although it does affect the physical health avatar. Fear, emotions, and the manifestations of fear. Fear of being yourself around other people. Fear of what a stranger thinks of me. Fear of being vulnerable and intimate with a woman in a relationship or a man. Fear of allowing yourself to be vulnerable to other people. Fear of doing the right thing. Fear of becoming the best version of yourself. So fear of your potential. It is huge. Absolutely huge. And it's this thought fear that stops us becoming... in my opinion, this is why the chakra system, people get ill, and people talk about emotional health being so bigger than physical health. Because I think fear is what fucks up the chakras and emotional health, but it's the basis of fear in the emotional health. In the realm of emotional health, which in my opinion is more important than physical health in many ways, although physical health will kill somebody early, don't get me wrong. It's just, I know from my experience, emotional health, I'm fixed on the physical health front. I'm doing fine. I still got a long way to go, but I'm doing fine. What's fucked me up, even now, and I'm just an extreme example of what we all go through, is fear. Fear, fear, fear. It fucks up your chakra system. It fucks you up. It does. And we're all born into a system that has made us afraid. I'll tell you what, none of us ever used to be fearful. None of us were. Practically all of us as babies and children, up to the age of 10, 12, I don't know, it might be different for every person, 7, 8. But there was a time in your life when you were fearless. This is a key reason why kids are often way more healthier than adults and us. This is another reason why they're super fucking flexible and they can do yoga at 6 years old and 8 years old, 10-year-old. It's not just because they're healthy, it's because there's no fear there. And fear really does fuck the chakra system up. It tightens the body, it destroys the physical avatar, it destroys the chakra system, it destroys your mind, fear does. It creates thoughts, and when you start thinking thoughts, you are now lowering your self-esteem, and you're losing your presence to the moment you had as a kid. Yeah, this divine presence that we all had. Now we have to do loads of meditation. You know why we have to do meditation now? I'll tell you why. Because we've allowed fear from the system up, and thoughts, negative thoughts, all fear, it's all everything. Trust me, when it comes to emotions, the root of every emotional problem, one word, fear. It was originally fear, and then it kind of goes into other realms of, oh, fear of this, fear of that, and fear of this, and I'm going through it, and I'm a fucking fearful person. But boy, like, here's the key. Let me just read the comments. Yo, Chris, nice to see you. Yes, Gaffrey. Nice to see you too. Yeah, okay. Right, here's my opinion. This is what I already said what I believe to be true. Like, the fear is the root cause of all of the problems. That it fucks the physical avatar. It is the #1 cause of chakra blockages in my fucking fear. I also think with the chakras, it blocks all of them. But the primary most important chakra is #1, foundation, here, the red color chakra, Muladhara, and fear fucks that one up. Not only is fear, number one, chakra number one, the root, I want to be here, survival, that is linked in. It's the most important, and if you've been watching my videos from before, you'll know that I talk a lot now about red light therapy. The power of red light is insane. When you get red light therapy from a machine, that's very fucking amazing. These tubes and red ruches, brilliant. Even better, in my opinion, those sunrise, sunset, and magical. Now, one of the reasons why they light us the fuck up, and why I feel like a Spartan warrior every time I do half an hour at sunrise and sunset. I've been doing it for 12 days in a row, by the way. The results have been phenomenal. If you haven't watched my previous videos, fucking watch them. The results, it's not just giving me lots of energy. What red light does is it fucking lights up number one chakra, the survival chakra, which is red, Muladhara, and it makes you fucking fearless. Yeah? Fucking fearless. Now, hear me out, because this is more complicated than what I'm saying. It will make you fearless. It doesn't mean now that you're going to go and do something that you wouldn't normally do. You still need to take right action. You still need to face your fears. What it will do is it will amplify that process. Because I'm going to delve into emotional and physical health and switch them both up. Now, red light therapy from sunrise, sunset, and from the machines will amplify that first chakra. But that is for your physical health. But it won't make you face your fears unless you have the right mindset, which is where emotional health comes in. Emotional health and how I define emotional health. Let me define emotional health for you. Emotional health is willing to look at yourself and not fucking lie, number one. So accept, I am this, I am that, I have damage as a kid, I am not looking at my shadow, I'm projecting onto others. Accept what you are. And then number two, on emotional health, once you've accepted it, you have to take action to fix that problem. It's going to take a long time. It's a lifetime project. I'm not fixing myself. But you have to take action on that to face your fears. You can't just rely on a red light therapy from sunrise to expect to face your fears. That will amplify, but what I did before I even got into physical health, for 8 years, when I was doing emotional health, I didn't realise I was helping my physical health too. What I did for 8 years was self-improvement. All it was, in a nutshell, was 3 words. 8 years of my life. 10 years, I'm still doing it now. It's called face your fears. Face your fears. So what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of talking to strangers? Are you afraid of being vulnerable about a person? Are you afraid of sex? Are you afraid of getting to know somebody? Are you afraid of stand-up comedy? Are you afraid of fucking giving a speech? Whatever that is, you fucking face it, and it will unblock the chakra number one, and it will block all the chakras, and it will make you fucking happy. It's way more than just, oh, I feel confident after I face my fears. It's affecting the physical avatar on a huge, I can't emphasize this enough. I'm really coming to this now. Every time I face my fears, I feel amazing. Even before I even started doing physical health, I was eating garbage, and I was 8 years into it and still doing facing my fears, and I always wondered, why does it always feel so amazing? Because it's healing, in my opinion, the chakras and the damage, and I had put so much damage on myself, being all damaged. I had so much fucking fear inside me. I still do now. I have so much, but now what I do with that is I'm reliant. I can rely on myself to face my fears, no problem. I always do. That's a given now. It's a standard. I always do that. That's going to heal my chakras, and it always will. But now I'm into physical health. I've amped it up, and that number one most important chakra. So not only am I facing my fears, doing the shit that's fucking scary out there in the real world, which is important, but I'm also upping the ante with, now that I'm into physical health, with stuff like red light therapy, lighting the fuck out of chakra number one. It makes faking my fears 10 times easier, but it also makes it 10 times more fun. Now I don't look at it as facing my fears. Now I'm not scared of it anymore. Because now I've automatically done it. I've practiced for such a long time facing my fears. The fear only are fearful to you if you don't, because you're imagining them. Fears aren't real. It's you've got no reference experiences to understand that is not a scary situation. So you think it's scary what you're afraid of. By the way, what you're afraid of is completely different to what I'm afraid of. What I'm afraid is completely different to yours. You think it's scary because you haven't done it. If you repeat the action of fear over and over again, you would desensitize and not be fearful. But now I'm in the realm of amping the fuck out of the things that now I'm quite good at, that I used to be fucking scared of. Use health to amp it. And the one that absolutely lights it up, and I like how I tie it into red light therapy, which I'm talking about a lot, is that red fucking light from Sunrise Sunset. I know for a fact, it's my opinion, that, for a fact, my opinion, that's a paradox what I just said there, but I know that red light is the most important for Avatar, and chakra number 1 is red light. Chakra number 1 is the most important, and red light is the most important colour that affects the physical avatar. Oh, by the way, way more than diet. Way more than diet. Way more than diet. Can I repeat about 1,000 times? Are people going to understand and listen to what I'm saying? Way more than diet. Red light. Light generally, but especially red light. It's fucking way more important than diet. Okay, where's I going with this? Yes, so to light it up, you need that foundation. You fucking need that will, that energy, that fucking, I'm going to do this. I'm already facing my fears. Now I'm not even in an angle of facing my fears. I'm just like, this is easy. Now I use the red light therapy. Use to heal the physical avatar. Unblock that fucking first chakra. And now I can chase my dreams down. Now, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible anyway, by the way, if you consistently face your fears in life. Nothing is impossible. All the things, if one other person in the world's done it, you can do it too. With enough action, enough time, yes. But bearing in mind you want to speed up the process of your dreams and stuff, the way to do it is to face your fears. Emotional health, so important. I can't emphasize this enough. Emotional health, face your fears. If it's holding you back from your dreams, you have to fucking face those fears. But you double that up with physical health work. That's why we're here too. And the best ones, if you're a guy, you need to do semen. You need to practice it, or tantra, fucking whatever. You do not waste your seed all the time, because that testosterone loss will fucking fuck you up and make you more fearful. But beyond that, red lights. You fucking need that red light. And yes, you can get red light from food. Yes, fasting and all these things will help it. But the sunrise sunset, for me, is the fucking magic. You know, that's just my opinion. I'd probably change my opinion in 6-7 months' time. I'm just giving you my information based on what I feel is true to me at this stage of my journey. And what's real to me is how fearful I've been, and how not fearful I am in the 10 years that I've been in this, and how crazy, how much you can change. It took a long time, but you can do things. You can do emotional and physical. People do self-improvement and they don't do physical, and then there's people that do physical health work and they don't do emotional. You've got to do both. I spent 8 years doing emotional, and now I do both emotional and physical. One or the other. I'm a multitask fucking heal myself. I will heal myself. I've done a lot more damage than you guys will ever fucking realise. Maybe if you met me, you'd have an understanding. You know, you get a better representation of the damage that's been done to me, you know? I'm giving you a skewed look of who I am, because I'm conditioned, as it were, because I'm talking, you know, it's not like a two-way, but I'm damaged. But it's okay, because I'm fucking, you know, I know how to heal myself, and I have. I've come so far, and I'm very happy and very proud. It takes a long process. The more you fuck yourself up, and I think most of us are fucked up, and most of the normal people out there, the Matrix, they are fucked up, man. But they stay down there. They stay in fear. They stay there. It becomes their personality. They give up on life. They just become fearful people, you know? Or they just rely on the fact that as we get older, we all lose our fear. As we get closer to death, everyone seems to lose their fear. Which is that's why you get very few out of life. It just dies. But I want to quicken this process of the chakras. I want to wait till I'm 80 for my chakras to be unblocked naturally, because that will happen naturally as I get older, a year of my life. I want to amp this process up, you know, as fast as possible and figure out what works. I also want to be as healthy and emotionally healthy as possible. Both things. I really do. I want to. There's no physical health is important, not emotional health. No. They're both fucking important. And fear holds people back. It destroys people. Yeah, it really does. Destroys lives. Yeah, okay. Right, read your comments. I'm afraid of self-destruct and self-find at all times like destructive self. Yeah, don't worry, Shady mate. We're all here to try our best, and that's the key. Just understand the mechanisms of physical health will help with unblocking our chakras and this fear that we're holding back. But also, it's very much people have to do emotional work and this right action. And what is your dreams? What do you want out of life? What's your potential? What's your legacy? And are you going in that direction? And if not, you have to fucking face your fears towards to get into it. Because if you don't, you'll never make it. That's what happens with the Matrix people. They don't. They have dreams and it just dies. For example, you hear if I want to write a book. They'll talk about it for 50 years of their life. I've always wanted to write a book. They do it. They never do it. I always wanted to do this. And they never do it. It's fear that holds them back, man. It fucks their chakras up and it fucks everything up. It fucks their physical avatar, the emotional avatar, and it's huge. It's huge. It's huge. And red light is the solution. No joke. Red light. True, Chris, mate, yeah. It's what motivates, I think. It motivated me. Now I just fear, for being honest, my biggest fear is being normal, being other people, just enjoying a pizza and chips and a quiet life, wife, 2 kids. Yeah, that's my fear. Being normal, average, and not leaving a legacy, and not helping people as much as my potential. That's my fear. Having a normal job, going to work unhappy, living for the weekends. That's very scary to me. That's my motivation. That's a fear that I use to my advantage. So we never really get rid of fears, but I'm now using fear properly. So I don't want to be like other people. I guess it's ego talk, but I don't want to be. I have potential, I have destiny in my heart, and I just gotta, blast through it. But it'll always be there, and I always have to. Oh, another thing about fear that's important with facing your fears. Right, you don't want to. This is obvious advice, but you don't want to jump into the deep end of the swimming pool and face your fears too much too quickly, because you can't metastasize the experience. You need to do it in baby steps. This is how we learn. We learn in baby steps. We don't learn in big jumps. Yeah? If you go too deep into and your brain can't compute what the fuck, because you're facing your fears too much. You just jumped in, over and over again. Your brain it shut down. It'll be in survival mode. You need to baby step this. This is a baby step process so you can understand and get better reference experience, so you can not freak the fuck. Your brain will freak out if you go too deep with this, and you'll give up. You also might even give up. So you've got to baby step. This is how I take life. Baby step improvement in physical health. Don't expect to do 30-day fast from one day. Baby step emotional health, facing our fears. Don't if I'm afraid of public speaking, go and do 10 public speakings in a row in 10 weeks. No! Do it slowly, practice. Don't rush it, or else your brain won't compute. You have to do it. You have to allow the brain to understand the experience, and that's how I built up certain things that used to fucking scare the shit out of me, and now are really easy, fun, I can give value. It's because I baby stepped it all the way. If I tried to jump, it scared me the fuck out, and my brain went, nope, not doing that, went back down. Your brain knows what to do, but don't jump. Don't fucking jump, yeah? Or if you do jump, just recognise you probably won't learn the experiences, and, yes. Alright, thanks. Thanks for watching. Let's face our fucking heal ourselves. This one's a self-improvement as much as a physical health, because emotional health is just, no, it's more important. I know this. I fucking know. Emotional health is way more important than physical health. Now, I'll still be obsessed with physical health, because that's a bonus. Physical health is a bonus. And it's really important, but it's a bonus. It should be like the dessert. The main meal is emotional health. And how do you heal emotional health? You don't lie to yourself. You don't fucking lie to yourself. Your problems, your issues. You accept, okay, this is my weakness. This is the area I'm not taking responsibility. This is an area which I lack, which I want more. This is an area where I damaged. I had trauma as a kid. You don't lie, and then you try and improve on it. And that's how you do it. And you become a better person slowly. It takes time, Time, man. Time. I'm playing this game, and I've not even nearly healed myself. 10 years, but I'm happy. I'm very happy with how far I've come. How far I've come has been incredible, but it takes time. I didn't think it would take this long, but I didn't think I'd be this happy. and energetic and passionate 10 years ago when I started. If you could, I wish I'd made videos of what I was like 10 years ago. You know, jaws would have dropped at the fucking, not to judge myself, but it was, this mind wasn't right, and it wasn't thinking right, and there was nothing good in it. Nothing good. I was a good soul. Everyone's a good soul. But, I was worse than a Matrix person. I was Matrix person that was, just had nothing going for them. No passion, no life, just depression, didn't want to be here. And, just made a negative story about myself that, you know, was pathetic looking back at it. You know, just a negative, poor me story. Poor me. You know, poor me. Yeah, fuck. Oh, yes. AJ, that's a good one. Yeah, I've got that book. I've heard good things from people that do it. There's a lot of things we can do. EFT tapping, motion code. I know that works. Yeah, removing traumas is huge, you know. But for me, the best way to remove traumas is to face your fears on the things that traumatized you. Like for me personally, I've been traumatized by being around people. People traumatize me. Strangers traumatize the fuck. I couldn't trust people. I lost at one point everybody in society. I mean everybody. Everybody. My friend, my friends, sorry, lie. My family and my it was fucked. It was fucked up. I hated everybody. Everybody at one point. That's fucked up. I hated people a lot. A lot. Like a lot. It was crazy. And now I love people a lot. Yeah, it's only taken 10 years, but to be fair, I've been an artist for like 2-3 years, so only taken 7 years then. Jesus Christ, doesn't take that long. No, it tell you what it does. When your brain has the wrong neural pathways and you're just so negative and it's just so deep for such a long time, trust me, it's going to take a long time to fix that. It's like a good analogy I heard is like those Christmas lights that, you know, you put up in the loft. They get all mangled together, and now you've got to unmangle all the Christmas lights, but they're all mangled up. So it's going to take hours to unmangle that. It's not going to take a fucking second, is it? You know, it's like a damaged dog. You've got to... I probably think... I'm thinking in my mind I'm never going to... But I'm okay with each step of my journey, you see? You're trying your best. You're trying to heal. You're facing your fears, getting rid of old traumas. And you're happy with how far you've come from the point you are. And you're doing your best. And that's all that you can ask, right? It's a mindset thing. It's a mindset thing. It's a mindset thing. You might think, oh, do you know what? Like I do, I might never heal this. Now, I kind of half believe I might never. And maybe there's half of me that doesn't want to. Because I'm thinking, well, that's what makes me stand out. That I'm, you know, makes me who I am today. All the things I've been through completely will not even be me. I don't know. But it takes time. It's a huge subject. Huge. And you guys know way more on this. You know, maybe physical health, I might know more than some people, but emotional health, nope. I don't know a lot. I'm just thinking about it a little bit more and going deep with it. Yeah, depression does. Victim mindset. I was there. I think we've all been there. You make a story about yourself. Okay, check this one out. You make a story about yourself. This is where self-esteem comes into it. You make a story about yourself that's negative, and you focus in on it, and then you start thinking it's all about you, and you start going from present moment-ish to thoughts that it's me, right, in a negative manner. So you create a negative story in your head, you repeat the negative story, therefore now you're moving away from the present moment and lowering your self-esteem, whereas someone that probably hasn't created this victim story has a little bit more presence. You're having less presence because you're using thought, but not happy thoughts, you're using negative thoughts. Therefore, self-esteem gets knocked. And then, I'll speak from me, I felt invisible at school, and the ego doesn't like to be invisible. No one's ego likes to be invisible, but I speak for myself and people that damage self-esteem. I know that when you start feeling invisible, then the ego is going to protect you, and what the ego does to protect you is instead of creating positive attention, the ego will create negative attention. By that, what I mean is that, try to say this without crying, I'm starting to get emotional. So the negative attention, because the ego can't handle invisibility, it can't handle it. It needs you to survive, and when you're invisible, you don't want to survive. You don't want to be here. So what the ego does is it creates negative tension, and negative tension can manifest in many ways, with people with lower self-esteem. And we all know people. Well, I'm one of them, by the way, with low self-esteem. So your aunt that can't shut the fuck up, Auntie Joe that always talks about herself, and you're trying to have a conversation and vibe, and she's always bringing it back to her. What is that? That's low self-esteem, because her ego is creating negative attention for herself. It's because at some point in her life she didn't want to be invisible. Her ego said, well, she didn't feel that presence. She lost the presence and the pureness of presence, that because the present moment doesn't judge us. The present moment loves us, right? But when you lose the present moment and you start creating these negative thoughts, the ego's like, but I want attention. I need attention. Now I'm not getting it from the present moment and positive attention, so it creates negative attention. So now you walk around with damaged self-esteem, and it's like those boys that end up killing people in some of them are false flags, but people do end up going killing sprees in America. They're so negative. They want negative attention. They crave negative attention. Like I said, the aunt that can't shut up talking about herself. For me, how it manifested was my mannerisms. My physical mannerisms were that of poor me. Give me sympathy. I couldn't look at people on the streets. I had to look down. I couldn't go to the shops. I was too scared. Everyone could tell I was a fearful creature. It was my ego protecting me and saying, hey, look at me. This kid's damaged. Negative attention is better than no attention. It was my ego. And it's very sad. This is how it connects it. The lower your self-esteem goes, the less present to the moment you are, and the more harder you're going to have to work to fix yourself. And that's exactly the position I'm in right now. You're going to have to work I've got no illusions. I mean, I'm going to have to work harder than 999,000 people. I already am, but I'm going to have to go even harder to fix myself, simply because there's levels of damage of self-esteem, and believe it or not, I've really fucked it up, like big time. And I won't go into detail too much how I know, but I do know there's imbalance between my brain hemispheres that's very serious. It's a scar. But it's okay, because I'm, from the darkness, I've had to learn a lot of lessons, so therefore I translate the information, and everything I give to people is lessons that are from the extremities of damage that I've had to come up with. As I've come up, the people with the best information are people that live on the extremes of damage, that have chosen to rise up about that. Because we all get damaged somewhat, but most of them out there stay damaged, whereas I already got damaged and I've chosen to move up. And I've learned a lot of lessons from it too, just as many of you guys have. You've got stories too, some I do know about, some I don't, but it's inspiring, the rise up. What I do find, and I know people that are damaged with, I have met very few. No, I haven't met none apart from myself. And I don't mean to boast, but I've met pretty much no low self-esteem people that are on a journey of improving their self-esteem. I mean, they want it, but they never go through the actual process. Honest to God, I've met so many people like me with damaged low self-esteem, and I can see it in them, because I am that, and I can see how they are looking at life and how they're just staying there, and it triggers me a little bit. I get triggered by it a little bit because I'm a little different, and I haven't healed it myself. I just hated. Now I got to that point where I was like, fuck that shit. I can't stay low self-esteem, hating myself and other people. I've got to change. And I haven't healed completely because I get triggered by people that are low self-esteem, that stay there. Which people I see a lot. Even some of my friends too, they trigger me. It's kind of, what's the word for it? I'm harsh on myself. I haven't healed that part of me that's like aggressive towards myself, that was so determined to get out of that self-esteem. I was so determined, man. I've always been really determined. When I took it, I'm determined. So I want that for them, but I can't let them be. So I keep my mouth quiet, so you won't know this. They won't know this. I keep my mouth quiet and I practice as best as I can, but I do get triggered in my mind. And it's only because I haven't healed. I haven't learned to accept people completely, if I'm honest, for who they are, as because I know that they can get out of their self-esteem just as I did. I mean, it's going to be a long journey for them, but they can. And it's a long journey for me, and I might never heal, but I'm enjoying the journey, and I've come such a long way, you know. So it does trigger me a lot. A lot. I'm revealing a lot in this one. Got emotional on a Saturday night. Yeah, Mike, that's true, isn't it? Very true. It's inside and it's unique to you. I mean, I think that there's a general one. We all have a fear of what other people think of us. That's a generic one, and that actually holds I say generic because that's what holds people back from almost every single one of them. Fear of what other person thinks of you, so you can't be yourself around other people. It's huge. Think about that. You can't because you're afraid. It's crazy. Right. Yeah, we can do it. We can all do it, man. We're all doing great work, by the way. We are. We're doing as best as we can, and we're watching the right people, and you know, we've got communities built up here on Facebook where we're learning from each other. It's just the most important thing is we don't lie, I think. I think that's the difference between us and the Matrix people. They somehow convince themselves that, you know, it's all good, you know, to lie to themselves, to not face reality. Because if you acknowledge and accept what you are, damaged and you know, fearful and all these things, and your dreams have died, if you accept it, then you'll change it. And they can't accept it because they do want to change it, but they don't want to put the work to change it, so they won't accept it in the first place. And that's harsh, but it's true. As soon as you accept something, because I lied to myself for such a long period of time, I know how people feel about lying about who they are. I used to lie about my problems or the issues as I was going through the darkest days of my life. I fucking lied and lied to myself over and over and over again. But then I realised at one point, not gonna lie, there's an avenue out, and I don't know how long it's going to take to fix. It might never get fixed, but I'll try. Right, I'll give it my best shot. And 10 years later, I can assure you, I'm fucking proud of how far I've come. It's insane, but at the same time, I didn't think it would take this long to fix. If I'm being honest, I didn't think it would take this long. I haven't fixed it completely. I'm surprised that how in a way, even though I'm maxing everything out, and I'm super happy and super grateful, I'm surprised at how long it's taken to fix. And it's not because of lack of trying. Do you know what I'm putting it to? It's just that's how severe the damage is that I did to myself in such a short period of time. In my mind, it was all here. My mind created reams and reams of bad mindsets and values and beliefs, and then compounded with wrong action. The action affected it too. So it was the mind started going wrong, and then the physical avatar started become what's the word for it, connecting with this. So if you think a certain bad thought here, then I take action on that thought, you know, and then that would manifest in real life. And that's all it is. It just, I realize now that you know, in 2, 3, 4 years you really can fuck yourself up to an unreal level. You know, I'll give you an example. I used to cry every single night in my room by myself, every single night, over and over and over and over again to myself. And I used to say, why God me? Why God me? So I still do now, by the way, then became atheist in between. But the point was, I used to cry and think about what I did there. I asked the question, why God me? Why God me? And crying, like real pain, crying, like I didn't want to be here. I did not want to be here every single damn night. You know, that fucked my brain up. What do you think that's going to do to you? The only rest I got from the shit that I was going through was my sleep. When I was sleeping, I was at peace. But as soon as I woke up in the morning, I was again and again and again, crying. The world hates me. I hate me. I don't even fucking love myself. You know, I hate the world. No one gives a shit about me. Why am I even here? And then I used to think, oh, it would be lovely fucking if I wasn't here, because I used to daydream about people going to my funeral. People that weren't even my friends. Just people I knew at school, because I had no friends at school. And I just used to daydream that there was my casket and there was my body. And it was sad that I had gone. And I thought, well, at least I got some attention in my death. You know, I wasn't much to them as friends in life. No one cared about me. But, you know, now my casket's down there. I used to daydream about that all the time. You know, that it used to give me good feelings. That people came to my funeral and cared about me. Because that's the only way in my mind at the time I thought people gave a shit. You know, by my death. How sad is that? I thought that the only way people would respect and love me is through my death, not my life. That's tragic. And that's not even extreme. I know people that have got way worse positions than what I'm talking about there. Way worse positions. And that's scary too. But I was very different. And I am very special and unique. And you guys too. Because honest to God, people that decide enough is enough and change is fucking rare. So rare to meet people that decide, right, that's it. I'm not going to accept this anymore. I'm going to start the long, arduous journey and the climb up. I'm not going to fucking lie. I'm going to take action. And I'm going to become a man or a woman. It's going to take a fuck long time, but I'm never going to stop. That's what separates you, yeah? I know people that have been through what I've been through and shit, but they've just chosen to stay down there. You know, and it's sad. But I can't do anything about it. You know, what can we do? What can we do? Only be examples to other people of how to live life properly. That's all. And bolster each other up. You know, people say what we're doing is preaching to the choir, but they're wrong. Or maybe they're right. But it's important because we need to build each other up, because we are all warriors in our own. We are all warriors here in our own way, affecting people. It's not just me. You all are. You've all got people in your lives that you know that you're planting seeds and changing. You impact the lives of many people. You don't even realize. You don't even realize the amount of lives you impact by being yourself. You've no idea. The more people you interact with, you know, in real life, Facebook or whatever, it's people. It influences a lot of lives. You know, especially warriors like us. We have more influence than an average person. You know, other people will have influence, but we have more influence, in my opinion, and more opportunities to influence people. I guess you could look at it as ego, but I don't really think it is. I just think you just don't want people to suffer. You don't want, because there is a lot of suffering out there, a lot of damaged people. That's part of the matrix. Part of the matrix, the conditions of living here, they do it on purpose. The matrix fucks people's up and damages people up on purpose and makes them weak, to make them think that life is meaningless and non-existent. You're not a creature of fucking creation and all that shit. But it backfires on them. It fucking backfires too, because what the matrix does is it damages so much people like you and us. It damages us so much, some of us, that we wake up and then we become beautiful souls. Like, some of the most beautiful souls I know are the most damaged that have chosen to rise above. Most of you guys that I've met up with as well, like, had the privilege of meeting up with some people, and some of you, and wow, the most beautiful souls are those that have been damaged too much. So the matrix never wins. That's what I'm saying. It never wins. You know, it can't. If it damages people too much, then too many wake up, and that's what's happening now. By the way, when it takes it too far, the matrix with damaging people like once, or it thinks it wants, then too many people wake up at once. Or if they do something like 5G, for example, and too many people die and get ill from it, the only thing that's going to happen from that is people are going to wake up. So there is no such thing as there is such thing as poison from the environment. But you have to understand, the matrix can't ever go too far. And if the check back for the matrix going too far is, if it ever does go too far, it will wake people up. So people will die, but then the next generation are going to be as fuck, just like it's happening now to us, because they've taken it too far with vaccines, they've taken it too far with big pharmaceutical companies, they've taken it too far with their fake drugs and chemotherapy and surgery. That's what's waking people up. So this is why we don't need to worry too much about what they're doing. Yeah, friends and family will die, these things will be hard, we are going to die too, you know, lots of hard things are going to happen in this life, but for the next generations we do not need to worry, because the better it gets. That's the cycle of life. People wake up, just as you and I woke up because we were damaged and, you know, severely fucking damaged, you know. And then they make a warrior. They make a warrior out of us. And then a warrior has more impact. So now you can impact the lives of more people. So the Matrix is never really winning. They never win. If I sum up the Matrix in one word, it's they want to push fear onto you. And push lies and fear. So the way to fucking fuck them over is love. And face your fears, because face your fears is love, by the way. Facing your fears is love. Actually, it's the ultimate expression of love. Because fear is not real, and it will hold you back. So when you face your fears and realise what is real, you become love and compassion and all these kind of things. Whoa, I've gone all over the place with that one. Only Karen's watching. I just wanted to say at the beginning that the emotional health aspect of fear is huge, and to me it blocks up. If you believe in the chakras or not, that's fine, but it blocks and fucks up the body big time, way more than physical health. And I'm obsessed with physical health and always will be. But yeah, it really does, and it holds people back, and it held me back, and it will continue to be something that we work on for the rest of our lives, and it's okay, you know, it's all good. Right, that's it. Thanks guys for watching, and the message at the end is just to face your fears. I'm a better human being all the time. Also, another thing I said in the middle of somewhere was, do not rush these things. Do not expect to become Superman tomorrow if you're just a normal person. You can't jump into your fears non-stop, because you're just gonna A, give up, but B, you're not gonna be able to understand that experience. Everything in life has to be baby stepped. You don't go from 0 to hero in a moment. Same with physical health, by the way. You don't go from no fasting to 30 days. You don't jump the process. That's not how you learn lessons in life. You do it slowly. You slowly heal yourself from trauma. It doesn't go away that quickly. Maybe some process it does, but it's slow progress. 10 years later, I still have fears. I've come a long way, but I still realise I've got a long way to go. And that's okay. I'm very happy. You just baby step it and enjoy little processes of improvement. Because I actually put a post about this today, and it's very true. Happiness is mainly contrasting yourself with you. So happiness is you versus you. It's who I am today versus who I was yesterday and last year and 10 years ago. Now, the people that aren't happy, a lot of them, is because they're also contrasting themselves with themselves, and they don't like what they see, because they peaked at childhood, at uni, at school, if they're most of them, yeah, and now they're in a steady job, wife, kids, they're not doing jobs they love, they've not got a passion or a purpose, they're even getting bored of their wives, you know, I don't know, it's this judgment. I'm just making a point that, where's I going with that one? Trying to think. Yeah, anyway, I actually don't remember what I was saying. Ah, dear. It's gonna get emotional. Saying fear. Yeah, anyway, I can't remember. Right, so that's it. Thank you very much, and yeah, apologise for going all over the place on that one. The most important message is, though, to become a better person, you just have to do these things. We have to do it. It's a responsibility to become the best version of ourselves. It will hold you back, and all problems that we have are based on that. In my mind, it's fear of something. It's fear of something. What are you afraid of? Fear, fear, fear. I've got so many fears, it's unreal. I've come a long way, but I've got 20 more fears than... Every time you unlock a fear, you get better at it, and it stops becoming fearful. You realise there's another level, and another level, another level, another. It's okay, though. It's okay. Oh, yeah. Because it's a contrast. You will be comparing your happiness, yourself, versus who you were before. Now you're facing your fears and becoming a better person. You will know to be happier, because you remember what it was used to be like 5 years ago when you weren't facing your fears. You know you're on a journey. When you know you're on a hero's journey facing your fears, you will be happy. Contrast between action that who you are now and who you were then. Because you always be happy with yourself for trying your best. You could never not be happy with yourself when you're not trying your best. You can't. It's impossible. Tell me that. You can't ever not be happy if you're trying your best, facing your fears, giving it your all. Happiness is contrast with yourself, and the Matrix people are contrasting. The Matrix people are going downhill in life. We're all beautiful souls, but in terms of their potential, of what they could have been, based on what other humans achieved in this life, legends, you know, perhaps even us as legends, they know they're going downhill, and that fucking makes them unhappy. And it breaks them, and then it gets them in a cycle of taking drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, and getting aches and pains and all that shit. So that's it, happiness and contrast, man. It's all about that. That's why I'm happy most of the time. You wanna know that secret? Just told you. I'm contrasting myself with who I used to be yesterday, last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm always, in my mind, contrasting, you know, am I coming up, or am I going down? Am I getting better, or am I getting worse, or am I stagnating? Right. Yeah. Cheers, Jenny, man. Yeah. Alright, thank you. Done.